Morgan's been drilling last week on some of the spud ground. As you can see, it was perfect conditions. Now just getting this little jet wash running. I'm going to jet wash the heat exchanger for the boiler because it's got a bit of a build up of damp dust that won't come off basically with the airline. Right, let's see how the joiners have got on. They've obviously been working away on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday when I wasn't here. We've got a stud wall here now. This room is now divided off. Then we've got a doorway into here. This will be for Wendy. So probably have a desk in the corner so she's got a view out the window. Storage, printer, whatever might go in there. Get some bookshelves here for all the files that she needs. Then through this doorway to this office, this will be mine. So should be big enough to have a desk and a few more chairs or maybe a couch or something for, well, I suppose if I'm working, James can sit there, or if you have meetings with people. So it's quite big actually. You might nearly get a circular table in there. Obviously that's got a window view and a window view onto the yard. I thought it'd feel smaller once the stud works up, but it actually feels bigger, which is good. Just got to get the electrician now to run some cables in and then it can be plasterboarded in. But looking good. Massive fan of your work, Rob. This is inside the heat exchanger box that they built the other week. We've just jet washed it out because it's never been like really cleaned really well, and now we can because we've got rid of the metal thing that was all twisted, you couldn't get inside. So this is now a lovely clean radiator. So we should get a lot better airflow and probably more temperature into the drying. Be more efficient because my dad reckons it's about 20% down on how it used to be for heating. So we'll see what happens.
Shouldn't get reverse that fan, isn't it? Well, we
can. Right. Oh, so yeah, I know what you mean, to blow it through.
On like a slow speed to blow back, like a reverse fan.
To be honest, you can run it backwards, but it doesn't blow because of the way the blades are designed. It just doesn't blow the way it's going as hard.
Yeah.
Has it been a day since we last greased the digger? Already?
Yeah, just exactly 10 hours.
Exactly 10 hours. I think we need to give it a wash, don't we? You know we've left one of the buckets at the other yard as well. I wonder how many hours it's done. Oh yeah, the big digger's there.
So
Rob's got a new CD player.
The Thomas Edison.
The Thomas
phonograph. That's
stocking up for when the shops are empty, Rob.
Don't know, it's COVID. It is.
So you wind it up, and then is it like a needle that runs along that top?
Yeah, so you put a cassette in there and it'll play your tune. I mean, obviously...
Thomas Edison, Orange NJ, USA.
And my dad has lost the key for it, the wind back key.
So he's going to make one.
We'll make one. Or does anyone know where?
You can get a genuine... Have you looked on Amazon for a Thomas Edison wind up?
There's some on eBay. I found one for £700 from the States.
Wow.
So
I'll tell you, make one of them. Andrew that does the locksmith stuff.
yeah.
Oh, look at that sunset. Didn't even realise that was there. I've just come up to Wellbrook because Dave's been levelling off. Guy was helping us with a bit of scaffold and he's just storing it here for the moment. His rack's in the way. But where this was all muddy, where we'd kind of like been driving on it in the bad weather last winter and sunk through and made ruts, then it was puddling. We've scraped off the half-inch of stone that we had, which is now there, and cinders and whatever it used to be. Put some nice clean old brick in, and then we'll pull these planings further across it. And then this yard will then be modern tractor proof, or should we say telehandler ready because it was a massive hole. And I remember that they had an old bonfire here as well, didn't they, the last people? So that's looking a lot better. That looks really smart. And then let's go over here and look at this sunset, to be fair. Sunset over Everton's training ground. Wow. It's mega. Yeah, so it's starting to look a lot smarter, this yard. And it was all about increasing its value so that when you wanted it was making you secure with the bank for borrowing to the level that we're at, or if we wanted to borrow more, to buy more, to do more, to grow the business. Whereas now, if I was to snuff it tomorrow, that really wants to have an asbestos roof back on it. This yard wants to be rutted, weedy, full of ruts, mud. The house needs to not have the new bathroom and kitchen we've put in it. You know, the slates need to be falling off that shed like they were. The skylights need to be gone in that. That needed to have a no floor, well now it's got a concrete floor. It's just proper, just spoiled any motivation for doing anything nowadays. And I'm not the only one. So many farmers are contacting me. We're going to put an extension on the farm shop. We're not going to do it now. We wanted to put a grain store up. We're not going to do it now. All the shed building companies, everyone's just put everything on pause and hold. They're just, no, not doing it unless we can get some decision reversed for where's Rob gone? For this crazy budget. Rob's wheeling and dealing. He's got this nice 12 plate with a private Range Rover Sport, 3 litre diesel.
Yes. 114,000 miles, full service history. It's had water pump and tiny rotor on 73k. Full HSE. You've even got DVD players in the back with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Let's have a look. Go around this side, I can open the door easier.
DVD player. I didn't use this.
Anyway, message Rob. Rob's got this app.
I didn't fit this, it was already on. So that's the store.
So there's a speaker under the car to make the car sound like whatever car you want it to sound like.
Yeah. And someone spent £1,000 basically fitting it. So I thought, I'll download the app.
And you can change that to sound like a fighter jet as well.
Fighter jet, you can even have an ice cream van. So if you go into...
Do you have to buy the sounds?
No, it's all free.
If you've paid £1,000 for whatever it is?
Yeah. So there's your cars you can make it sound like.
So how long does it take to download the Lamborghini one?
You'll find out.
So now you've made it sound like a Lamborghini Aventador. Go on. And then swap it to a BMW. Who even knew this was a thing? And that's the BMW. That's mad. Put it on the tractor instead. Who even knew you could buy a speaker to put underneath your car to make it sound like different cars? That's mental. I forgot to show you the other day because I was in the car. I was talking to Adam. He's put some mud guards on the back of his tractor. And he's like, oh, it's really good because when you move the digger around, you don't end up splashing the digger. And that is exactly what's happened here, isn't it? When we've brought that back on the low loader the other week from Brookhouse or Welbrook, whatever it was, the mud that's come off the back tyres of the tractor have made the digger filthy. The digger doesn't go fast enough to be able to flick mud up there itself. So yeah, he probably has a good point, to be fair. Look at the buggy in its calendar pose. Today's birthday bumper quickly. Rory Rush, I think it's pronounced, is 38. Charlotte and Lauren are 14. James Lane is 47. John Taylor is 18. Stephen Moulton's 48. Haley Youngerman's 13. Jamie Kendall's 30. Gavin Cheney, I think it's pronounced, is on there. And Giles Hart is 29. And we're now £79,814 raised for the North West Air Ambulance. Oh, also, yeah, it's Jeff Patton's 65th birthday, so happy birthday, Jeff. I forgot this. I've got me I Love EMA hoodie on that they give me. If you ever get the chance to go over to Italy to the EMA show, EMA, definitely recommend it. It's massive. It was far bigger than I expected, so get yourself there next time it's on in 2 years. I have been on the phone most of the day with press and all sorts, sorting out this thing in London next week. Don't forget, if you go in, put a link there. We can't tell you the exact location until we've crossed every I and dotted every T, because if it ends up changing because of the numbers, then that means that it'll be chaos. So if you are going, go and the links below, go and fill it in. The more numbers, the more accurate numbers we can get, the easier it is going to be to organise. Lots of people are saying we're going to come on a coach. We believe the Met has told us that there's certain places for coach people to get dropped off. The next question is where can the coaches park before they come back? So we'll get them questions answered in the next few days. We've got some really high profile speakers. I can't say all of them at this time. I've spoken to Jeremy. He is going to be there, Jeremy Clarkson. He may also speak, but he's cautious to not inflame the situation because he wants to help farming. But it's good news that he's behind us and he's supporting us with all that. I've had a few conversations with him over the last few days, and he's been very helpful and helping us as well understand that we've got to be careful that the media don't try and spin things as well. This is what I did for GB News. You can go and watch that now.
Welcome back. It's approaching 10 to 4. I'm Martin Daubney on GB News. Next Tuesday, thousands of farmers are expected to descend on the streets in Westminster, right outside here, to oppose Rachel Reeves's new inheritance tax, which stops all farms being passed on inheritance tax-free. Now, the former Top Gear presenter Jeremy Clarkson is set to join protesting farmers at the rally next week. And joining me now to discuss this is the farmer, Ollie Harrison, who's got a magnificent social media footprint. Ollie, you're really getting your message across. You're really making people listen to your message, and I absolutely doff my cap to you for doing that, sir. You're really getting people backing you, because GB News viewers certainly are backing British farmers to the absolute hilt. They get it. No farmers, no food. It's a shame the politicians don't understand that same message, Ollie. Tell us, it appears that the NFU, the National Farmers Union, is being rather Queensberry rules about this. They're having a meeting with politicians, but you're taking to the streets. Tell us more.
Yeah, so the NFU have arranged a mass lobby event in, I can't remember what the church hall is it, but it only fits 600 people in at a time. So they've made it so that you can have 3 batches, shall we say, of 600 people. But of course, it was massively oversubscribed. And if you've got 600 people in there, you've got 1,200 people with nothing to do. So we could see this situation arriving where they're all in the capital, plus thousands more, with no particular purpose. So we were like, hold on a second. So we come up with the idea of, why don't we have a food bank collection? Well, we're food producers. The debate here is us still being able to produce food going forwards. If we have to pay 25% of our farms over, that isn't going to happen. So that was the angle we wanted to go. But so we contacted the Met and said, look, there's all these farmers. They're all angry. Should we give them a purpose and a location? And that's how it's come about.
And so what do you think will happen on the day? Because, we're not going to see scenes like we saw in France or the Netherlands or Brussels. We're not going to see militant farmers, right? You guys have been very clear. You don't want to cause a public nuisance. The bad headlines of a Just Stop Oil star blocking a bridge if somebody didn't get to a hospital, that's not the way you want it, but you want to create a big impact.
Yeah. We need to get the message out there of what we do. We produce food, and I think we can do that. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of angry farms out. I think you said before, rebel farmers, and they are. We are trying to calm the mob, shall we say? But we just need government to understand that these rules that they want to bring out are absolutely ludicrous to work with. You mentioned Jeremy. So to Jeremy's, he's going to be there on the day and support wherever he can. But equally, he doesn't want to turn it into the Jeremy Clarkson show. He wants to make sure that fellow farmers are heard. He did some maths the other day and worked out that just on his farm, the tax bill would take his children 34,000 years to pay back from the profits that he makes. It's just so short-sighted of this policy.
Do you think, we sort of quick minute here, Ollie, do you think that they're going to listen? Do you think they'll listen to you guys being polite and having a food bank? Do you think you'll get a resolution on this?
I think the main thing is to get the public support so that if there is further action down the line, people understand why that's happening. That's very important. Government themselves have not realised how much food the UK farms produce and how fragile that supply chain is. So I think it's important for them to realise that. And then if there is disruption down the line caused by some of the, say, more militant ones, at least they understand. Otherwise, the message would land quite badly, I think.
Yeah, they certainly would have been given ample warning. Very quickly, do you think that politicians understand farming? Is there a complete knowledge gap?
It appears so, yeah. It really does. I mean, some of the quotes they're coming out with now, you just gobsmacked by them. Absolutely. I mean, I like it. Someone had said something the other day that, they say Rachel Reeves doesn't just want some of the harvest, she wants some of the farm. I thought that was a good quote, but I likened it to, you can take a few eggs off the chicken, but if you cut its head off, you're not going to get any more eggs. And if you're going to take all the eggs, you need to be the one feeding the chicken.
OK, Ollie Harrison, so succinctly put. Look, when you're down here next Tuesday, please pop in and say hello to us here at GB News. I'll put the kettle on for you. It'd be a delight to have your company. Ollie Harrison, thank you very, very much.
I thought it was all right. Anyway, that is all for today. Don't forget, if you go into London, click that. As well, the event in Cardiff. There's a load of people I was going to meet in Cardiff. They now are going to come to London instead. So I believe that has been cancelled. I've had a phone call off Liam about that. Anyway, if you go in, click the link. And thanks for watching today. Not a lot of farming, sorry. And I'll see you tomorrow.